What?
Family Day.
Family Day. That's my favorite. No, I'll go first because this is my favorite. Family Day is the best. All right, so what are we supposed to say? Oh, what to do with your family? Mm-hmm. Do anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter. Be with your family. Bam, the end. So our family day is Saturday, and on Saturday...
You gotta talk about why we do Family Day.
No, good Lord,
How
no.
we got started doing Family Day?
No, anyone who doesn't know why you do Family Day should not have kids.
Okay,
give your kids up for adoption.
We didn't always do Family Day.
Oh, never mind. Keep your kids. What?
We didn't always do Family Day.
What did we do?
When the kids were little.
Oh, it's so sad.
We had some really great friends.
Oh, right. Yes. So we had friends, thank you, who then the dad had to like move away for like 9 months.
It was a long time.
And then, which I know for a lot of...
another state.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, for his job. And then she had to stay where she was for her job. And yeah, and so there are people who do this, like the military like, that's all that there is. Okay.
I can't even imagine.
Right, yes. So it's not like this was some great horror.
Right.
But
they were close to us, so we were seeing the experience up close.
Right. And then he would come back on weekends. So like that weekend was like, we got to make this one count. And then we realized, hey, we don't really have any days that we make count. So let's treat this thing like they treat this thing and try to, if we're going to have a day where we don't have anything else going on, let's not just waste it just sitting around or whatever. Let's treat this like, what could we do together?
Yeah.
So now on purpose, once a week, we do something real.
Right.
And so now we're supposed to say what we like to do.
Right.
That's why we do family days.
Right.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, so our favorite things to do are go to the beach. If you're going to go to the beach, make sure you take a real shovel, not the plastic junk that you get with the stupid kids' packs of sand toys. Even though the sand castle buckets are really cool, just get regular buckets. Get as many as you possibly can because it's impossible to have too many buckets at the beach. And if you do have too many buckets, that means that your kids get to share with other kids. And then they get to have that interaction, especially if you're a weird homeschool family, then they're going to appreciate that opportunity to interact with the others. And then just make sure you take lots of food and you don't get sand in your food and you're good. Take your jammies so that, hang on. So there's a lot of people who aren't close to the beach.
That's true.
Like people who live in Iowa.
Right. But outdoor adventures in general, the beach or a national park or a river or going fishing or going to the woods or...
Okay, but we were supposed to just share what we like to do, not give them advice about what they should do.
Well, but there's some things I think make outdoor excursions with small children daunting.
Oh, right. So
some things that I found are really helpful, just whatever you can do to know the scenario before you go, which it sometimes can be a little bit challenging with an outdoor excursion. You don't necessarily get to know like exactly where you're going to be, but there are a lot of great websites that do kind of reviews for different like state parks or stuff like that. And you can read other people's comments about, so if you're going to, this part of the coastline, for example, this beach or this beach or this beach might be the ones that are easiest to get down to the beach and you're not having to like climb over rocks and stuff like that you want to know before you get there, so you can decide whether you're going to take your stroller or you need a backpack or you...
To a certain extent, and then to a certain extent, you're just there to be together.
Totally. No, well, that was going to be another point of mine. It doesn't have to go perfectly, but planning is helpful. Sure.
It doesn't even have to go well.
Know whether you need to bring a sweater. We've had the beach trip where we got out of the car and it was 40 degrees and everybody wanted to get back in the car.
Do you or do you not remember those trips?
I do remember those trips.
Thank you. That's all.
Planning is helpful.
Sure.
So you know how to prepare.
Some planning. Okay.
It just makes it less intimidating. If somebody who's watching is considering doing family day and going on an outdoor adventure with their toddlers and preschoolers and they're saying, I don't think I could do that because that sounds terrifying.
Okay, sure. Yes, but especially for the controlling types like me who want to make sure that it goes right and who are going to
It's
consider
not
it a
gonna go
bad trip if it doesn't go right.
It's not a bad trip.
It's not if you are on the trip, it is a good trip.
Right.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to go any way at all.
It doesn't have to go any way, and it's less scary if you prepare
Sure.
beforehand.
Okay.
Okay.
So go to the beach. Unless
to
you
the
can't,
beach.
then don't go to
And
the
then
beach.
go to the woods, or the lake, or the river.
Go outdoors.
Go outdoors. That's one of our favorites. Sorry.
Baking. Baking is great.
Baking.
Same thing. Don't try to make it go right.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to make it go. You're going
Right.
to make a mess in the kitchen, and you're going to have a fun time with
Yeah.
your kids making a mess in the kitchen.
You're going to find chocolate fingerprints on cabinet doors 3 days later.
If you
I
don't,
promise.
you did something wrong. So you're going to be having fun in the kitchen with your kids, and there might be food at the end,
Right.
or order a pizza. But bake with your kids, and then
While things are in the oven, you play a game or something,
sure.
or go outside and jump on the trampoline.
But don't send your kids out to the trampoline and then clean up the kitchen. That's a
Right.
horrible. If your kids are on the trampoline, go out and be on the trampoline with them,
Mm-hmm.
so you can all break your arm together. Rocket League, video games. Video games are the
Yeah.
best, and Rocket League is the best. We like Rocket League because the barrier to entry is very, very low. It's soccer with race cars, and so if you can press a button, you can get your car to go,
True.
and then you're playing the game. But the thing is, maybe this won't be an issue for this upcoming generation, but it seems like my generation got this, like, the parents didn't know what video games were, and the kids only wanted to do video games, and there was there wasn't that thing that there was this thing you wanted to do with your entire being, and your parents didn't really know how it worked,
Sure.
kind of thing. And I hope, I don't know, we'll see, that as my kids get into something, I want to get into it
Sure.
with them, to at least use the same terminology and stuff,
Sure.
and not just have that be their thing that they like to do.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever they're into, get into it with them, or they're malleable enough at this age
Mm-hmm.
that I can be into something like Rocket League, and then ask them to come along. And
Mm-hmm.
since they like to be around their parents, then they can just
Yeah.
do whatever I want them to do. So we'll see how that
It's
turns
really
out.
just
again.
all about shared experience
Yes.
and the memories you create as you're sharing the experience.
Yes.
So finding a thing that you guys like to do together.
Right. And there again, the goal can't be winning the game,
Right.
or getting to any particular score or anything. In fact, I have got to talk him off of that a lot of times, because he'll want to win a game, and I've got to just be like, hey, we're here to get better at the game, whatever. I'm not there to get better at the game. I'm there to hang out with him. But sometimes he wants to get to a certain level or whatever, and so I'm trying to talk him down from that. So the goal is not to get to any particular thing. If you ever yell at your son for messing up your game, then
You're doing it wrong.
you're doing it wrong. And I've done it wrong on several occasions, and then I hear myself
hard to
going,
not be competitive.
this is freaking race car soccer. Why in the world would you ever make your son feel anything negative at all,
Right.
when you're playing just a stupid race car soccer
Mm-hmm.
game? And then the donut shop, that's an easy one,
Yeah.
because you just pack everybody up, you
Mm-hmm.
go there, you spend 3 cents, you get a dozen donuts, you leave all of the mess there, you throw it away, you make sure that the chocolate's off their hands, you get them back in the car, bam, you're back at home,
Mm-hmm.
you all had an experience. It could be 10 minutes there, it could be an hour there, and so as long as you want and as cheap as you want,
Mm-hmm.
it's just and we don't have donuts other than on the special family
Oh, yeah.
time donut times, so it's not like that's a thing that's in our house all the time.
Right.
So it's
It's special
special.
to them because it's more infrequent. Oh.
Those were all of mine.
Those are all of yours?
Well, that's not all I like to do, but that's all the things that I list, except for fishing, which you already crammed in my other thing of just
Sorry.
go outdoors,
outside.
and then I should have just said stay indoors, and then we would have had everything.
I have more.
Okay, go ahead.
Medium
doors, things you can do in the doorway.
Local adventures. Finding local calendars or things that are happening in our area.
Especially theater, because
Yeah.
Disney on Ice
Yeah.
is relatively expensive, but, well, I guess there's not a lower version of Disney on Ice.
No.
Like Amateurs on Ice, like high school mascots on ice. That'd be awesome. But then to go just some college play or
Sure.
college Christmas a jazz band concert or
Right.
something like that it's as good for them.
Right. And then amusement parks and museums and zoos, that kind of thing.
Okay, so amusement parks are really super expensive. You can't just go to amusement parks.
Right.
But back when you didn't have a house to live in because I was using it for the business during the
Right.
day, then we budgeted as part of your housing budget or something, like a certain amount of money to go to memberships for places so you
Right.
could have a place to go be homeless
To go play.
while I was using the house for business during the afternoons
Right.
after school. And
Yeah.
so we kind of already had that budgeted in.
Right.
Now that
Well-
you have a house.
And the other thing is, a lot of places in our area, zoos and children's museums and that kind of thing, have memberships that with as large of a family as we have. If we go there twice in a year, we've paid for the membership.
Okay, but the membership still costs $1 billion. So it's not like, I mean, people with fewer kids would be more able to afford those things because
Sure.
they've got fewer bills
Right.
than larger families. So it's not like it's easier to do because you have a large family. So you just have to decide what are the places that we are going
Right.
to most frequently want to go, and then just break down and buy a membership to that place. When I was a kid, I couldn't imagine what kind of fortunes you would have to have in order to be able to have season passes to a major
Right.
amusement park. That was unnecessarily wasteful.
Yeah.
But we have season passes to a nearby amusement park. Even now, when I think as a grown adult, like I've got a membership to an amusement park, I kind of feel a little rich, even though I know it's not really a big deal. It's a big deal for me, and maybe would be a big deal for other people too.
Right. Oh, and you can change them up from year to year too. Like we had a zoo membership for a couple years and then felt like we weren't really using the zoo that much. And so now get a membership to a different place, and maybe a year or two from now we'll want to do the zoo again. So maybe we're not buying every membership every year, but every year kind of think about what might be fun for that
So
year.
some in your budget for something
Yeah.
that you're going to do, and then don't just go buy a zoo membership and then go once. Make sure it gets in the rotation, which comes to the most important part of the whole thing, which is make sure that you have some kind of a rotation. Either just like schedule, like every third week of the month, we're going to go to our amusement park or whatever, so that you have some kind of rotation. We use family day cards, which is where the kids, we flip over the cards so they can't see what it is, and then they pick one, and then that's the thing that we're doing, and then we put that in the done pile, and then they get to select from the other cards each week until we're all out of family day cards, and then we start it all back over again. That way we make sure that we're going to everything, even though they're not all necessarily in the same order.
Right. The other thing I was going to say about the memberships too, with the amusement parks in particular, if it's somewhere that maybe with going there with small children sounds like an intimidating thing, when you have a membership to a place, you can go there for an hour,
Right.
and then when everybody's done,
Or
we
10
can
minutes.
go home, because it's okay. We can come back next week if we want to, tomorrow if we want to. And we haven't just wasted a bunch of money on tickets, so you don't feel the pressure of, well, we paid a lot of money for these tickets for
Right.
today,
Right.
so we got to make this day great, even though everybody's totally losing it.
That sucks.
Yeah. With Family Day, you really have to know when to jump ship.
Yep.
You want to end on a high note and have it be a memory we are all a high note, not meaning something went wrong, but a high note meaning the attitudes are
No,
appropriate.
we end lots of family days with bad attitudes, right?
Well, sure, but you don't want.
You don't want to hang on to a note just because you paid a lot of money for that
There
note.
you go. Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
That should be the end. So go anywhere with your family. Don't try to make it into anything that it is. Let it be whatever it's going to be.
Right.
Love your kids.
Sometimes the most memorable ones are the ones where things have gone terribly wrong.
Or just different. It's
Or
not
just different.
It's not terribly wrong.
Right.
You need to manage kids' expectations because they're not good at that
Right.
thing. As adults, we've already felt guilty about our expectations enough times that when we're reminded, we can turn things around pretty quickly. But they had an idea that, we're going to the amusement park, and then you get there. We had that
We had
one
that one.
where
Yeah.
we got there and
Somebody didn't have shoes.
someone
else threw up.
And then we got out and the stroller tire was flat and we went, we'd driven an hour to get there, whatever. And we just went,
nope,
it's not happening. We're going to do something else. So we packed it up and we went home and did something else for the day. And the kids were pretty bummed out about it. But once you have a few of those and you've disappointed your kids terribly multiple times in a row, they get used to you being a screw-up parent and they lower their expectations.
It's a good opportunity to help them learn how to deal with disappointments.
That's what I was trying to say.
And it's something you definitely have to make it intentional because there will be something that comes up every week. You're in sports, there's always soccer games on Saturday.
You're in sports.
Your family is in sports.
This is a family vlog. So if you like these ideas, then please share your own ideas down in the comments section below and like and subscribe our videos. Is that what people say?
I think so. It was good.
Oh, it killed a little bit of my soul. Good enough.